live. I got off work just a little early, and so I have about 25-30 minutes. Figured I'd sit here and do a live stream, talk to people, encourage people to go vote. Go vote Trump if you're undecided. Put in comments and let's argue about it. Let's see if I can convince you to vote the same way I did. I voted for Trump on Friday. A lot of crazy things happening today. Tim Walz called Elon Musk gay. That was amusing. Kamala Harris was asked how she voted on the tough on crime bill in California, and she wouldn't give a comment. That was kind of funny. But yeah, all the swing states look to be, Trump's leading with a very thin margin. That Iowa poll was quickly discredited. The Seltzer poll was quickly discredited by one that came out right after it that was Trump plus 10.5. So there's that. That's not exactly surprising to me. Trump is going to win Iowa. I don't know how those numbers for that Seltzer poll in Iowa even came up. That's insane. But more craziness happening. I saw a Netanyahu staffer trying to undermine negotiations with Iran. Of course, it sounds like a lot of people in Israel do want war with Iran. There's a lot of craziness going on in that region. I will bet you if Kamala Harris wins, we'll see a bit of an escalation out there. She's got a vested interest in continuing the wars in the Middle East. So, yeah, if you haven't voted, get out and vote. And vote for Trump, preferably. If you don't like Donald Trump, then say something, we'll talk about it. My nose itches like crazy. I was in a house where they had a cat today, and I'm very allergic to cats. So, this guy says vote Kamala, war 2025. That's right, war 2025. That's what we're after here. No, I went and voted Friday, and there was waited about an hour 45 minutes in line. It was crazy. Glad I got it done, because driving by the polling centers today, the lines are so long. I'm not even remotely interested in voting today or tomorrow. I'm glad I voted last week. So, yeah, lots and lots of people turning out, far more than usual, I understand. I live outside of the big town in a smaller town, and the municipality had they've got the sheriffs out there. They're letting about 8 people at a time into the courthouse. The lines for voting are absolutely insane, but get out there and stand and put your vote in. Niall McAteer. Hi, hello. Bradford, where are you from? I am from the Midwest. JKVB, it is my birthday. Well, happy birthday. Andika Yogo Utama, today is vote day in USA. Nope, tomorrow is technically election day, but people are allowed to vote today. They've been voting for the last month. Bradford says, what state? I don't say, because I'm a medical professional. I'm on a national register, so it's too easy to dox me, sorry. Gene Rogers, what's your name? My name is Richard. I'm a boy. I miss using my phone. Neat. Jeff Kendall, Bonnie Lake. I don't know what that means. Niall McAteer, Trump 2024. I agree. Lego Boy, I'm from UK. Well, welcome. Niall says, Trump or Harris? I voted for Trump. I voted for Trump on Friday. Thug Popsicle, Philadelphia for Trump. Correct. Bradford, swing state? No, I'm not from a swing state. I'm in a state that's definitely going to go red, but it's this Iowa poll that people are that's a state that should be a red state. It's going to be red by 9 or 10 points. It's not even going to be close. I don't know where they got this +3 for actually I do. When they went through the crosstabs, it was like 85% of people that were polled, or 81% of people that were polled, had never voted Trump and didn't vote Republican for their last like X number of years. So well, of course that poll went +3 Harris. So there was that. Amina, hello from Morocco. Hello. McDonald's says, I think you're pretty. Oh, I think you're pretty too. Actually, I had McDonald's for the first time in like a year and a half last Saturday, because it was cheat day my wife's a bodybuilder, and it was cheat day, so she went and got McDonald's, and so I had McDonald's for the first time in a long time. Jerry Lass, I'm taking my wife to vote tomorrow. I don't vote for politicians. Nobody deserves the right to rule over me. Weed on the ballot, so going to vote for that. Any taxes or abortions? Well, see, the thing is, whether they have the right to or not, they do rule over you. Politicians are in charge, and I agree with you to an extent. I don't think I'm as libertarian. I think you're an anarchist, Jerry, if I remember right, but I am a libertarian-esque. I'm a little left of libertarian, but so I think you should vote. I think you should vote Trump, because I think that the policies that the Harris campaign will enact, the Harris administration would enact, would be far more draconian on what you want to do, what you believe. A says, I'm from Sentinel Island. Cool. Lego Boy, enjoy your day. McDonald's says, pretty good looking. Sweet. Lego Boy says, I'm going, but I subbed. Thanks. Niall McAteer says, polls. I don't know what that means. Bradford says, wondering if you see more support from Democrats or Republicans in the lines. Well, the state I'm in is going to go red, but what's crazy is a lot of these red states around, there's abortion is on the ballot. So a lot of people, even though they're voting Trump, are voting pro-abortion in the abortion. I think that sending abortion back to the states actually really pulled the rug out from under the Kamala campaign, because Democrats historically have run on abortion as a major issue. Well, now that it's no longer a federal issue, it does allow people that would tend to vote Republican but are pro-choice to vote for the Republican candidate but for the pro-choice bill in their state. That way, the way they see it, they get the abortion law that they want, but they can still vote Republican. So I think that actually does help Republicans a little bit in this election, because Kamala's leaning so hard into the abortion issue. Mirapad, Trump or Harris, Trump will win. I voted Trump on Friday. Thug Popsicle, Philadelphia officials found 167,000 duplicate ballots, all Democrat, by the way. Luckily, they were caught and removed. Yeah, Michigan had 160,000 that were found. They say they've taken care of the problem. They said it was a glitch, but it was not a glitch, because one of the voter IDs had voted 29 times, all from different voting stations. So, no, it wasn't that. Also, over the weekend in Michigan, there was a Chinese foreign national that voted. He was a student at the University of Michigan, voted in Ann Arbor, and that vote stands. Because of Michigan voter law, that vote cannot be removed. I made a video about it this morning. It's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Niall McAteer, McDonald's isn't as good as it used to be. I never really had McDonald's as a kid, so I guess I don't really know. Doomer Boy, should they replace the Electoral College with the popular vote? No. The Electoral College is in place to protect the states like Idaho and Kansas and Missouri from having to deal with the same laws as like New York and California. So, it's more like the 7 big cities in the country would make all the laws and no one else would have a say. The Electoral College is kind of the way that the less populous states actually have a say. So I'm a believer in the Electoral College. Hey, everybody, thumbs up if you haven't. McDonald's says she sounds beautiful. I think so. A says McDonald's is too expensive. It is pretty expensive. Truthful Troll says Trump 2024 forever. Hungry Motivated says English or Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. I can hear it. I can understand it when people say it to me, but it takes me a minute to kind of work my way through, and I can speak it very brokenly if I take 45 minutes to come up with one sentence. Thug Popsicle, the Electoral College is outdated. I disagree. I think that the principles that require the existence of the Electoral College keep us from being a democracy. We are a constitutional republic. We're not a democracy. Thug Popsicle, the popular vote gives a better representation of the people. Sure, but only, it allows for the tyranny of the 51%, So when policies are made because, Seattle, Portland, LA, San Francisco, Austin, Miami, DC, and New York, Chicago, all voted one way, then no one else gets a say anywhere. It doesn't matter how you vote, you know? Mirapid, last election was rigged. Trump should have won, but Trump is the better choice. I believe Trump is the better choice. Now, Miketeer, where was Harris when hurricanes? Yeah, that was a bad look. She really screwed the optics on that one. Hungry Motivated says Trump will win. Only if people vote. Top trend screen. I am back after 1 month. Cool. McDonald's subscribed. Sweet, guys. I'm famous. McDonald's subscribes to me. Bradford says Electoral College preserves minority voices, hence the campaigning all over the country. Agree. Hungry Motivated. Hello from Sweden. Hello. James DeWitt, Democrats don't care about us. I think that's generally true of all the politicians. I think that power is their number one motivator. I don't believe that they're sitting here thinking about us. I just don't. Some are, you know, there's some that are. Ron Paul was a great politician, but many are not. Karmic Debt, Kamala with a flower. Okay. A says YouTube censoring all anti-Kamala comments. I haven't noticed yet, but maybe. Jerry Lass says, maybe if it was close, South Dakota is like 70% Trump, so it won't be close here at all. Yeah, but the thing is, we need the popular vote as well, because that'll kind of shut up the people that are saying abolish the Electoral College. They're only saying that because they're losing. When they're winning, then they don't care about the Electoral College. You remember, between 2020 and now, Democrats haven't really said much about the Electoral College until it was election season again, because they won it in 2020. A lot of people are in support of Trump. Karmic Debt, is there any chance of Kamala winning? Yes. As we were talking about earlier, there have already been over 320,000 fraudulent ballots found between Michigan and Pennsylvania. Luckily, allegedly, they've been thrown out, but there are some that have not been. Like I said, there was a Chinese foreign national that voted in Michigan. The vote was tabulated. The guy's going to be prosecuted with 2 felonies, but his vote still counts. So there's that. I'm going to scroll up a bit because I'm losing you guys. Definitely not a Fed. 325,000 children have been trafficked and lost by the Biden-Harris administration. Some sold into sex slavery. Yes, they have. In fact, the DHS under Biden and Harris was flying migrant children around. They were taking them to U.S. citizens where they would essentially have foster homes, given new social security numbers, and then essentially they were just lost track of. I covered that a couple of years ago when I was still streaming with Howard. Hey, everybody, thumbs up if you hadn't yet. Doomer Boy says, there's like 10 cities with over 1 million people in the U.S., so still have to campaign all over. Not necessarily, because when you think about where the votes are actually coming from, I mean, they'll have to campaign all over to a degree, but you would give the Democrats a head start of about, 50 million or something, I don't think it would be that big, but it would be a huge number would go of votes that would just automatically go that way because of the big cities. I don't know. I think that, number one, a 2-party system is terrible. Popular vote makes a lot more sense if it weren't a 2-party system, but it is a 2-party system, so the Electoral College really does help. If you could get like a viable Libertarian or Green Party candidate that could take some of the vote away, like more than 0.5% or whatever it is, like right now I think the top 3 non-Democrat and Republican candidates are polling at 0.7, 0.3, and 0.3. It's insignificant. The popular vote would be more meaningful if you could get a third-party candidate. But because it's a 2-party system, the Electoral College is absolutely crucial. Ryan Simpson says, it stands bull fucking shit. It's a felony. Yeah, but it does. That vote will be tabulated. It is being tabulated. I made a video about it earlier. Go look at it. It's like 3 minutes long, but it's got the link in the description to the New York Post article about it. Karmic Debt, so she isn't winning. I don't think she will win. The path to victory for Kamala is much more difficult than the path to victory for Donald Trump. Ferris King, I think Harris is leading in the poll. Trump is up by, I think, 0.2 in the popular vote. according to some aggregators. The highest I've seen for Kamala was plus 1.5 or 1.8 in the popular vote, but Trump is still leading in all the swing states, which is what matters. Austin Reed says he's voting for Kamala. Neat. I disagree. I voted for Trump already. Maripid, you heard about the vote boxes that were set on fire? I did, yeah. Yeah, there was several hundred votes were burned. Crazy. I'm going to scroll down a bit. Steve Hartley says not true. I'm not sure what he's saying is not true. I'm going to scroll down some. Jerry Last, South Dakota didn't let you vote independent. When I voted Trump, I was also forced to vote for Kristi Noem. Oh, that's crazy. I hate that. That's awful. You should be able to vote whichever way you want. Haley Lyrics, who are you voting for? I already voted for Trump. Now McAteer, I think they will rig the election for Harris to win. I don't think I'm allowed to say much on that on YouTube this close to the election. Hey, everybody, thumbs up. I keep saying that. I know. I'm sorry, but it helps a lot. It helps to get the stream in front of more people. Master Sheffius, Red Giant. Seattle is great. I love Seattle. I don't live there anymore, but I do love Seattle. Ferris King, how long will it take to count the votes? Well, it's supposed to be the day of, but Michigan and, let's see, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Arizona have all already, 3 big swing states have already said it could be between three days and 2 weeks to count the votes, which is absolutely nuts. I'm going to scroll down a bit. Bebob, Chief Seattle was a slave owner. Tear down his statue. Oh, man. Chris says, hey, I love the content, but I think you attended one of these Diddy freak-off parties. Dude, you said that the other day. Just woke up. How do you even become a politician? You live in a community long enough, start with something low level, get to be well known. Generally speaking, you have to have a good amount of money. Master of Pew says hello. Master Sheephus, Red Giant, Soy Boy looking ass. Jesus Christ. I can bench press more than you. That's my go-to when people say that, by the way. I can bench more than you. And I'm married with a kid, so not enough soy. I need more soy. I did vote Trump, though. Puff Dutch, Trump, bro. The whole country looks like San Francisco, Seattle, Portland. No thanks. We likes laws, guns, and no fentanyl. Yes, no hobo urine. I agree. The fentanyl thing is crazy. When I was a kid, I had this group of people that I used to hang out with, between like 16 and like 21. Right now, in the last 5 years, 7 of them have died of fentanyl overdoses. It's absolutely nuts. The last one that died, she was 26 years old, mother of 2 kids. I mean, it's just devastating to hear that. Just overdosed on fentanyl and died. Terrible. Peaky Blinder, 90% is not a thin margin. I'm not sure what you're referencing. Jesse Perkins, Trump is a felon. Does his vote count? Legally speaking, he's not a felon until he's been sentenced, which has been put off until, I think, December. But it depends on the state. Like, some states let felons vote. Black 999C, Trump 2024. Gotta save the pets, people. Democrats killed a squirrel. Dude, I know. Isn't that wild? Peanut the squirrel, and who was the raccoon? Was it Fred? Fred the raccoon? Bebob says, but Cardi B endorses Harris. Yeah, I give that the same weight that Jake Paul endorsing Trump gets. So, did you guys see the Jake Paul endorsing Trump video? There were like 1,000 jump cuts in the 18-minute video. It was really hard to watch. Falling Falls, Trump or Kamala? I voted for Trump. Mighty Mouse, does gerrymandering really make that much of a difference? I know it's every 10 years, but it makes a difference in like congressional seats, but not so much the presidential election, I don't think. Adam Kuhn, we need to reject these low testosterone autistic clowns. Trump 2024, correct. I voted for Trump 2024. Doug Bobsicle, Trump and Kamala are dead, even in Philadelphia as of today. Are dead even. I read that wrong. Trump has a small lead, but now it's deadlock. Yeah, I think it was 0.2. I think in Pennsylvania, the Amish vote's going to be crazy. I think Scott Pressler signed up something like 500,000 Amish or some ridiculous number like that. It was something like that. Was it? No, maybe it was more like 200,000. I don't remember, but it's a huge, like in the hundreds of thousands of Amish people. I think that will swing Pennsylvania for Trump, because Amish people, if they sign up and say they're going to vote or say they're going to do anything, they generally follow through with it. They have a bit more of a code of honor than a lot of non-Amish people have. Jesus. Bradford, Trump is the first president in history to be pro-gay marriage before coming into office. That is true. Yeah, that is true. Puff Dutch says, why count votes already? Polls are lies. It's already over with. Trump wins. The polls are not real, I don't believe. I base a lot of the predictions I make on the polls, but you have to, because there's no other information. You know, if you don't live in every single state simultaneously, you can't really tell what the zeitgeist is. So polling is what you have. But what I will say is that it seems that the media has taken turns. Like CNN throws out a Harris +6 in Wisconsin randomly. You know, what they're trying to do is keep the aggregate close so people will keep their eyes on the TV and be, oh, it's a close race. Alternatively, what they'll do is they'll put out ones like that Iowa poll to try to black pill people and be like, don't even show up to vote. It doesn't matter. Harris is going to win by a landslide. So they're saying, you know, Trump voters might as well not even go vote, trying to keep them in their homes. And, you know, of course, that Iowa poll was quickly followed up with another Iowa poll that had Trump plus 10.5, which is the correct number is probably going to be about 8 or 9. Trump will win Iowa. Make no mistake about it. It will. He will. Black 999C, just get out and vote. If Trump gets the popular votes too, it really becomes too big to... Correct, yeah, it does. If Trump wins the popular vote, his chance of winning is over 95%. So go vote. Even if you're in a solid red or solid blue state, go vote, because the popular vote matters this time. It's like a social victory. You're kind of putting the finger to all of the people that are saying, well, you know, we need to eliminate the electoral college. Well, no, we don't, and so we've got to do that. Snoop, RFK is going to the White House with Trump to get the poison out of our foods. Yep. Shikar Chaudhry, hi, bud. What do you think about gun culture in U.S., especially for immigrants and children who are regularly targeted? I don't know about immigrants, but I think the school shootings and all of that is much more a mental health crisis than anything else. I am very pro Second Amendment. I'm very libertarian when it comes to guns. The mental health of the people that are doing these shootings, social media amplifies it and makes it, you know, the thirst for popularity, I think, is responsible. And then, you know, of course, the food additives, which I've been saying this for years, food additives and, you know, chronic huge amounts of screen time, you know, that comes together to make people, you know, feel like they're living in a little bit of a bubble. People are much more depressed now than they ever have been. It's some crazy number, like 60% of millennials or 70% of millennials are on either anti-anxiety or anti-depression meds. Like, it's a huge, I don't know if that's the actual number. It's an enormous number. That plays a huge role in that. Thug Popsicle, I rewatched videos from when Trump won in 2016. He absolutely destroyed Hillary before all the votes were even cut. Yeah, I know. I look for New Hampshire, Virginia, or even New Mexico to be a sneaky flip in Trump's favor. New Mexico is the least likely of those three. I also have seen some rumblings about Delaware. I don't think any of those four actually go to Trump, but if anything goes wild, I would not be shocked to see definitely Virginia, New Hampshire, one of those two go to Trump. New Mexico is a definite long shot, but there's some internal polling that is good for Trump. That's why he went there and did a rally there. And then Delaware, I've only seen rumblings of that on X, but there's people that live there like, hey, what the hell's going on here? Like, all of a sudden Delaware is, you know, looking Trumpish. I don't think he wins it. I don't think he does. He wins the election, but I don't think he wins any of those 4 states. Pickles, have you tried the chicken Big Mac? I have not. Timothy James, same road as Biden in 2020. Nobody thought Biden was going to win either. Well, that could be. That could be. That's why you've got to go vote. That's why you got to go vote. Matthew Carlon, well, guys, currently early voting numbers in PA, 400,000. Otherwise, Trump is up 29 states to 22 states for Harris in early voting. Yeah, well, in the firewall for Biden in 2020 was 1.1 million. That firewall for Harris is much smaller. I think the number last I checked was like 360,000. It could very well be 400,000 by now, but yeah, things look very good for Trump after early voting. Carson Wood, I'm in Alabama. Is there really any point in me voting? Yes, we need the popular vote. We need to keep people from saying that it's just the Electoral College. We can't let them have any kind of an argument that we need to abolish the Electoral College. What we need to do is have a resounding FU to the radical crazies on the left. That's what we need right now. And I say that, by the way, as a reluctant Trump voter. I have always been an independent. I'm not registered to either party. I don't particularly like Trump as a person. I don't like listening to him talk very much. I do agree with him on a lot of his policies, though, and I did vote for him. Matthew Carlon, hey, you in South Dakota? I am not. I love South Dakota, though. I used to go to Custer every now and then. I love Custer, South Dakota. Really cool place. I'm going to scroll down a bit. Thug Popsicle, do you hear about the voting machines only allowing people to vote for Kamala? She was set as default. I did see that, and I saw a bunch of videos of that. I also saw videos where they had moved Trump's face to the second page, so you had to press next on the voting machine to see Trump. I voted on a paper ballot, by the way, a Scantron paper ballot. So hopefully that's a little bit better. Definitely not a Fed. DOJ sued Virginia to keep self-identified illegal aliens on the voter rolls. Yep, but Virginia won that. The Supreme Court ruled in Virginia's favor on that. So DOJ lost. The fact that the DOJ was the one that brought up that lawsuit is freaking crazy to me. Like, the federal government is suing to allow illegals to vote or to be on voter rolls? That's insane. Francis Wicks, good to know that you're a Nazi. Anybody who just calls Trump voters Nazis because they voted Trump is insane and doesn't know what a Nazi is. And I'm going to go ahead and say you're pretty stupid if that's what you think. Either you're stupid or misinformed. So, Squirrel says, why are the blue states having the election issues with fires and ballot dumping, and they also have National Guard standing by? Well, yeah, it's crazy, dude. Francis Wicks, how does it feel to be a fascist piece of shit and turn your back on the Constitution? Oh my God, fuck off. Wow. I've said this before. When you guys come in here so hot and you're trying to, call me all kinds of names without knowing anything about my beliefs or policy, only who I'm voting for, I think you're an absolute joke, and I disregard anything that you have to say. Joe Edits 316 says, what is your thoughts on Christianity and politics? I disapprove. Now, that's not to say Christians shouldn't be political and Christians can't vote toward their values. But what I am saying is, for example, the law in Louisiana that was passed that said the Bible has to be integrated into school curriculum. I disagree with that because the United States in general has a pretty good track record of separating church and state and separating religious beliefs from politics. That's kind of the mantra I would like to follow, because if I, put yourself in the shoes of somebody who's not a Christian, right? If they don't want you pushing your religion at them, well, that's just like you not wanting Muslims to push their religion at you, right? So, Felix Amodi, who's winning tomorrow? I say Trump. Francis Wicks, hey, how does it feel to be a fascist, dude? Okay, I'm losing it. It's too far. Francis Wicks, stop calling me a fascist, or I'm gonna put you in timeout. You've said it enough times. Like, you can say it you can say it, but once you've said it once, like, stop spamming. I'm gonna put you in timeout. Like, you said it plenty of times. I generally don't put people in timeout, but like, if you spam, then I'm gonna put you in timeout. Like, look at how many of those disappeared. Matthew Carlon, please explain the squirrel thing. What's that all about? So I guess this guy had a pet squirrel, and he would make like TikToks and stuff with it, or Instagram videos. I only know tangentially about this. I've seen the memes, and I've seen like one video on it. So correct me if I'm wrong. But I guess the city found out that, I think it was the city of New York actually, found out that he had the squirrel, and they went and they took it from him and euthanized it because that's illegal, which is absolutely nuts to me. Bill, Marine, taught Bible for 60 years, Shepherd's Chapel, Oh, I lost it. I've got to scroll down, guys. I'm losing the chat. I'm skipping a whole bunch of chats, and I apologize, but I'm getting lost. There's too many people in the chat. If you want to be certain that I read it, do a super chat. I don't need money or anything like that, but it just makes it easy to find. But yeah. Matthew Carr. Oh, he's talking to somebody else. Let's see. C2O Delirious. Trump is literally a racist. Literally not. William Curry, computers should not count votes. I agree. It should be one day in person by hand, counting with, 3 people, one from each major party and one independent, counting every single vote. Steve Webb, no taxes on tips. Agree. Box trap. People calling out voter fraud is dumb AF. There's zero evidence. There actually is. 160,000 fraudulent votes found in Michigan already. They were able to handle it because Laura Trump actually called it out. And then 160,000 in Pennsylvania. They corrected that one, said it was fraudulent. They were duplicates. Chinese foreign national voting in Michigan. They caught him, but that vote is still going to count. There have been fraudulent absentee ballot applications all over the place, thousands and thousands of them. There's always a degree of voter fraud. That was even admitted in 2020 with the litigation. Basically what they said was, if it's not enough to flip the election, then it doesn't matter. That's literally what they said. Murky Turkey, Francis says, no one is hurting you. What the fuck? Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know what Francis's deal was. AV 2003, Seattle Jack. I'm assuming you're from Seattle. There are a lot of Trump supporters since... So I don't live in Seattle anymore, but I have a lot of family there. And there are a significant number of closet Republicans and Trump voters in Seattle. They don't often vote because they're discouraged by our vote's not going to count anyway. But a lot of them feel that this year is a year where they could maybe make some local gains at least. So my uncle who lives in Seattle, and then I have another uncle in Vancouver, they were talking about that the other day. They said their circle of people, they were surprised to find how many were actually conservative leaning, which kind of blew my mind. But there's that. Let's see. I'm gonna scroll down a bit because I'm losing it. William Curry, Trump's policies are better. Don't care how mean he is. I agree. It's me, not you. What has Harris done to persuade you to vote for her? I did not vote. I already vote for her. I voted for Trump already. Largemouth Hunter, 30 years ago, it was rude to even ask who someone was voting for. Yeah, isn't that crazy? I posted a short earlier of this lady, melting down and screaming because her dad voted for Trump and, yelling and cursing. Go look at it. It's freaking wild, dude. Okay, C2O, stop spamming or I'm going to put you in timeout. I'm going to scroll down a bit. I'm trying to catch up with you guys. AV 2003, I feel like as a person from California, more and more people are voting red than usual, but you feel they're committing fraud in this. A lot of people are saying that. Yeah. Boxtrap, how can you justify voting for Trump considering he's a felon, impeached twice? Impeached means nothing. He wasn't found guilty of anything. Liable for sexual assault. Yeah, go look at that sexual assault suit. The civil suit. That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. A woman who can't remember any of the details of it, even though it was the most traumatic moment of her, whatever. I mean, I'm not even going to get into it. It absolutely nuts. That case was terrible. Trump was not. Yeah, whatever. I don't believe it for a second. And then once again, the case he was convicted in, that's going to get overturned, by the way. The 34 felony is going to be overturned on appeal. It's absolute nonsense case. They changed the law in New York to go after him for this. All they wanted was to slap the felon label on him. They know it's going to get overturned. Absolutely ridiculous. So none of what you just said matters. Carl Williams, say my name, please. What's up, Carl Williams? One free thinker, if you truly believe in the separation of church and state and you think the food industry should be regulated, then you need to vote blue. No, I think RFK is going to do a fine job with the food, in the food sector. I'm a big RFK fan. So, Dave, it was in Pine City, New York. Pine City, New York. Okay, there you go. I'm going to scroll down a bit more. God, you guys are commenting so much. It's awesome. I love it. Love the interaction. Jerry Last, why can we trust computers with banking info but not to count votes? Why do we need politicians when we have the tech to vote on every issue? We don't need to vote. Politicians need us to vote. That's an interesting thought. Moderate Mike, Harris and Trump are both solid candidates. Looking forward to the election being over so we can move ahead. Harris is not a solid candidate. She does not have a platform pretty much whatsoever. Her idea to lower grocery prices by attacking price gouging is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Grocery stores are not price gouging. Albertsons and Walmart and Kroger are operating on like a 1.1 to 2.1% profit margin. That's not price gouging. Cops are monkey. Are you trans? I'm not. I'm going to scroll again. Little Squash. It was socially constructed to be rude so that people wouldn't easily vote for their communal interests. Interesting. Let's see. Largemouth Hunter. 2 impeachments and 2 acquittals. Exactly, yeah. So it's kind of like if they said you were charged of raping your mother and you didn't do it, but it was just like an angry neighbor or your ex-wife that was trying to get you convicted for something. But then turns out you're Chris Chan, so it's true. No, Chris Chan endorsed Kamala Harris, by the way. That's freaking hilarious. I'm going to scroll again. Largemouth Hunter, Democrats shouldn't be allowed to take any holidays off. Why? JG, why you read every single comment? I'm talking to the chat. That's what I'm doing here, dude. Like, this is what my live streams consist of nowadays. I just talk to the chat. I give like a little spiel at the start, and then when the room fills up, I just talk to people. Scroll down. One more comment. Michael Nightwolf. Jack, I am extremely disappointed in you. God dang. Sorry, Dad. Sorry, Dad. Did I hurt your feelings by voting for Trump? Aww. Joshua Isaacson, Trump 2024, Washington, everyone I know is voting for Trump. The state is filthy now. It's terrible, man. It's terrible. Simon B, more people watching every time. Good for you, my man, even though you still look like my neighbor and she's still hot. Oh, you guys are brutal. I love it. I love it. DB Cooper, I'm still a missing person and I voted for Trump. You guys are funny. Largemouth Hunter, forget the haters, talk to us. Yeah, hell yeah, man. I don't mind. They can say whatever they want. Kabowski, I don't usually tell people who I vote for because in my eyes it has a negative experience and creates heartache for everybody involved. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Mario Contreras, I'm a Catholic and I endorse Kamala. Dude, the word is endorse. It's a different word from endorse. That's hilarious. Ben Wright Dover. I like your name there. That's funny. I live in Oregon and Republican turnout has been massive. Awesome. I do believe Trump is going to take this election. I think it'll be 287, 251. If you're interested in a state-by-state breakdown, I did one a couple days ago. So go check it out. Let's see. Let me find one more comment. Fidgeting Midget, if you vote for her solely because she's a woman, you're definitely part of the problem. I agree. All right, guys, I've got to get off of here. I've got to go get my daughter from her grandma's house. Everybody thumbs up if you haven't. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And I do these lives a few times a week, sometimes twice or 3 times in a day. I like talking to the chat. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.